Hello and welcome back to Empyrion Galactic Survival. My name is Spanj and this is Alpha 12 experimental version. It's good to be back. It is good to be back with Empyrion. It's been a while. Other than outside of the chill in the building, it's been a while. Welcome back to Empyrion, everybody. Let's go. We're going to do a brand new game on the sort of vanilla scenario, as it were, the default random, and we're going to see how the sort of gameplay mechanics have changed with this new version. If you missed it, I did a video summarizing the sort of main feature changes of Alpha 12. I'll put a link to it somewhere on the screen or down below in the video description. Check it out. Anyway, so new game, survival. The default gameplay. We're going to actually start on an arid planet because difficulty. Let's get a random seed going up in here. I don't know, that'll do. 412000 if you want to play along. If you know what I mean. So planet size medium, absolutely fine. Let's go into our difficulty settings. Starting equipment, hard. Player progression, normal. Degradation speed. I hate degradation. I'm going to set that to slow. Everything else on normal. Ore deposits I'm going to set to rich and plenty in order to speed things up. Auto miners will not deplete. Enemy difficulty hard. Drone presence high. Drone base attacks high. Constructor speed fast, just to speed things up a bit. Blueprint spawn limit false. Block limit for certain device false. Check volume and mass on. CPU points on. It's part of the game now. I'm going to turn it on. There we go. Those are my difficulty settings. If you're curious, or if you want to replicate it, let's go. Oh, it's glorious. We're back. We are back. Ladies and gentlemen, descending towards the rocky, arid planet once more. Well, this hasn't changed. This is the same. I see a large wreck over there. Lots of mountains, bit of water behind us. Might be a good direction to go for setting a base. Here's some initial wrecks below us and some lizard mules. Now remember, on the arid planet, there is no oxygen, so I will need to pay particular attention, close attention, to my oxygen levels as well as everything else. Whereas on the old temperate planet, you can run around with your helmet off and everything's fine. The good news and the good thing about starting on the arid planet is that you start with armor straight away, which is nice, which is great, because in night you have a built-in flashlight and it's fine. So there's sort of pros and cons to starting on the arid planet. Great, you get some armor straight away. Bad news, you now have to manage your oxygen as well. So this is the new Robinson Protocol. IDA normally started with just a big wall of text when it came up. Now it comes up with this kind of slow scrolling, but it's a little bit more immersive, this IDA thing. Hopefully one day this will be maybe like voice acted and stuff with a little computer voice. I'm not going to run through the Robinson Protocol. You guys, of course, are more than welcome to, especially if you're new to the game. It's a very good tutorial to get you used to how the game works in the early part, but I've done this a million times, so I'm going to abort the Robinson Protocol and yes to confirm. And this just gives me a portable constructor, a bike, and a detector straight off the bat. So yeah, okay, thanks. I now have 2 detectors and 2 oxygen thingies. That's pretty good. Absolutely no fuel, 1 biofuel, and that's it. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We are now free to roam and do as we please in this this beautifully hostile environment. It's absolutely fine. There's no drama here whatsoever, other than the impending doom of running out of oxygen. But the first thing you probably want to do is turn your jetpack on with J and get sort of familiar with the local surroundings. Start picking up little plants like I'm doing here. You can just run up to them and press F to pick them up. And you probably want to pick all the different plant types up, because every single time you pick a plant you get a little bit of XP, and like what just happened for me then, you get levels. So I've just got up to level 2 just by picking plants. And I'll probably get up to level 3 or 4 maybe just by repeating this exercise over and over and over and over again. I will warn you, yes, I will be bunny hopping all over the shop in this one. I know it annoys some of you, but it's just the quickest way to get around. It really is. Well, before you get sort of vehicles and stuff, I know I've got a bike, but you know, that thing is actually slower than running sometimes. Here's a nice little POI. Damaged, you need legitimate ID. Well, I don't have legitimate ID, so I guess that's not going to work, but you are going to give me some water out of this personal cargo locker. I do wonder if we can actually restore this to health and get that teleporter working and where it may take us. That would be interesting. But I fear that the action of taking out the core, there it is, considering it's a Polaris core, if you put your own core in there, it'll probably wipe the teleporter destination. So, yeah, I don't think we're going to get anywhere with that. But nice little outpost, nice little find. Gives you a sort of initial impression of who's around, the Polaris, one of the main factions in the game. I'm going to equip my survival tool now. So you can hold shift down and right click on things, left click on things, sorry, and it will go into your inventory straight away, into your action bar down there. You just hit tab to open your inventory. The survival tool, once you've equipped it, right click and you get this little radial thingy up. You can set defense mode, salvage, resource drill. You see little rocks like this, they kind of stand out a bit, and they're usually different colors. This one in particular is a copper rock. I'll show you an iron rock in a second, and a silicon rock will be loitering around somewhere nearby as well. So you can just fire your laser gun at those and then pick up the bits that fall off. There's an iron rock here. Don't mind the little lizard mules running around. They're pretty peaceful. They won't attack you. Some creatures will. Those guys won't. They're pretty chill. So that was a iron rock. I don't see any silicon rocks around at the moment, but we'll just head back to this wreck here. There's another one just down there as well we'll check out. These are worth checking out because sometimes they have these little boxes. More water. And this one's actually got 3 boxes that you can loot. There's another one. And that one just about get there. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Tidy. Like that. There's another wreck over there we can see. I'm just keeping an eye out for any silicon rocks. The jetpack is very useful because you can obviously get a bit of height and that allows you to see a little bit further. There's a bunch of rocks in that direction which we could go after. More plants, always good. What is that? I just saw something. Oh, that's another wreck over there. Okay, fine. Is there anything in this one? I don't know. I think... Ah, yeah, here we go. There's a box. Oh, very nice. That is a very nice box. Some canned meat. This stuff takes ages to spoil. Detox kits, very good for health. I noticed in the bottom left, my health is currently not looking too great. I'm not too worried at the moment. There's no predators around or things that can hurt me. So I'm just going to wait a little bit longer before I do anything about it. But now that you've picked up all these ingredients, all these like little bits of plant and stuff like that, if you hit tab again, go back to your inventory, up in the top right here, click survival constructor. And this is like a little suit mounted little constructy crafty station type thing where you can build a few bits and bobs. So I'm going to build a couple of energy bars. They're going to give me a little bit of food, not very much. A couple of bandages as well. I'll try, I don't know how many herbal leaves I've got, only 2. And that takes plant fibers and protein. I might not be able to get the bandages then. I've got the vegetables, so I might, once those 2, you can only build 2 things at a time, so you just have to sort of wait patiently until the next thing becomes available. But I might try some vegetable juice after the bandages, if I can get the bandages. The little hot dog things that I'm picking up off the ground, they're plant protein, so they're quite useful. I don't think this thing has a box. Yes, it does. Oh, the luck. The luck is endless here. That's amazing. A ration pack. That thing does not expire and will refill my entire food. So, like I said, very much worth exploring these wrecks early on in game and seeing what you can cheek out of them, basically. So, I think that's pretty good. There's some more hot doggy things over here, but here's another wreck. Have we got a box? And we loot a box. What are you? No. Elion, please add crouch. No crouch in the game yet. Elion, I know he's confirmed for Alpha 13. I'm going to hold him to that. I'm gonna hold them. They said it. You guys were there. You heard it. Alpha 13 crouch confirmed. One of the most basic sort of movements in a game that you can't do. No crouch. I don't think there's a box in this one. I don't think there is. Let me turn my flashlight on by hitting L. Again, you can only do that if you're in the arid start like I am. On the normal start, the temperate, you won't have the ability to hit L until you've crafted some armor. Now my food is getting perilously low, so let me take my two. I did manage to create those bandages actually. That's really good. Let's get some vegetable juice then, and some more. Oh, I don't want that actually. I want protein bars. So the protein bars have been nerfed from the last. As you can see, they don't really do much from a food anymore. They used to sort of do a little bit more than that, and they were quite useful. Now, not so much. But again, a nice little perk of the arid planet here are these little space oranges, which are quite nice, and you can eat them straight up as fruit. Now, this is slightly risky. Raw fruit, any raw food like that has a potential to give you indigestion, which could be quite dangerous. If that indigestion goes in untreated, it could progress into food poisoning and possibly even then kill you later on. What I do need to do is I've now sort of looped all the way around back to my escape pod. Unfortunately, I do actually need to jump on this monstrosity of a thing. It's hideous. It's hideous, but it is slightly faster in this environment than running. So with the bike, you put it on your toolbar like I did there. It then appears like this. You can then place it on the ground. Press F to then get on it, and then you know it can take you anywhere. This, oh my lord! Okay, we're gonna run away. We're gonna run away. I don't know if that can hurt me. That was very close, but yeah, there is some environmental weirdness going on there. That was a nice little meteor storm just to wake everybody back up again. This thing, how is this thing standing? Structural integrity should have killed this thing long ago. And I think there's one more wreck just over there. And again, I don't think there's anything. So what you can do is set your survival tool to drill mode, and you can actually drill into the ground. So you get a wreck like this. Maybe it's a little bit too buried. Maybe there is a box here somewhere underneath, but honestly, you don't want to spend too much time digging around and trying to find something that may or may not be there. Yeah, I don't think there's anything here. It's fine. Okay. So now the next problem I have looming is my oxygen. So I now have a bit more food and health. Now this water here that I picked up earlier is very useful because you can actually turn it into emergency O2. So I'm going to get my little survival constructor working on that. It takes one bottle to produce one bottle, and that emergency O2 will only fill up my oxygen a little bit at a time, but it should be enough to get me at least somewhere where I want to set up a bit of a base. The next thing I want to do is find out where that bit of a base is going to be, and also I need to find some silicon rock because I've only actually found iron and copper so far. So what I just dragged onto my toolbar there was the detector. The detector is particularly useful at detecting things, who would have thought, right? So what I'm going to do is equip it like I would my survival tool, and then left click. Woo. And what that does is create a nice little ping noise, which is very nice, and also highlight any nearby stuff. Now obviously the stuff that I've discovered already, you know, is wreckage, the Polaris survey station wreckage, and then we've got these question marks and resource over there as well. Now that is the sort of direction I want to go in, because I want to see what those resources are. So we're going to head that way and see what we can find. I'm going to use the bike in order to speed things up a little bit. Try not to run into any rocks while I do. Don't mind me, lizard mule dudes. Yeah, they don't like the bike noise very much. Oh, wreck. Once, obviously at certain points, all those little pings and stuff that you previously had on the map will disappear. So just sort of keep heading in that general direction. On your little mini-map though, they sort of come back. So we can head over here, and this resource should now reveal itself when we get off. And there we go, we found a copper deposit. We can ping again, find bearing of the next ones, and sort of carry up the moon, apparently. The moon was in range for a brief second there, that was quite funny. And there's another one here, and so on and so forth. That's an iron deposit. Oh, I didn't even need to get off the bike for that one, there we go. But there you go, you get this sort of idea. We'll, damaged hover bike, it's floating in midair, that happens. That's glitchy, but you know, that happens. Let's pick this thing up, it's useless. But there we go, we found a bunch of stuff. Around here will be iron deposit, copper deposit, there'll be a silicon deposit here probably. Yep, there it is. And whatever that is over there, 1.2 kilometers away, is a little bit too far away. 1.2 kilometers, that's all the way over there. That's how long range our detector is. It's pretty good. So this wreckage here is obviously the remnants of a crashed capital vessel of some description. And it does come with some nice juicy bits in the old personal locker box inside there. Now this wreck might not look like this for you. It might be a different one. There's a whole variety of them that can spawn in, but in all of them will be a personal cargo box. Make sure you loot it. Look at that up there. You point at it, it tells you what it is. Look, it's Kai. That's amazing. That's cool. And Alimon Moon. I don't know why Alimon Moon is. You just point at it and it'll tell you what the planet is. That's pretty sweet. Does it say sun? If I look at the sun, nope, it just burns my retinas out. That's fine. Okay, right, I'm gonna need to set up a bit of camp here, right? So this is a good place because we're sort of equidistant between three of the key resources that we need. So what I need is my O2 water condenser. For some reason I have two. I'm not quite sure that that's correct, but whatever, I'll take it. Okay, put all three of these on my taskbar. So the O2 water condenser, the portable heater cooler, and the portable constructor. We'll set these two down first of all. Set this one sort of in the middle of where everything's going to go, and the portable constructor. Make a little campsite. The other thing you can place down is the survival tent. I don't use this thing very much, but I know that some of you do. Survival tent's pretty useful for skipping the night, basically. And in multiplayer, it now acts as a spawn point, which is very nice. Anyway, out of all of these ones, these two are your absolute lifelines because we need to put some fuel in them. And I picked up these fuel packs, remember, from one of the wrecks, which is very lucky. But just what I do is click on that, pick it up, and then right click into an empty slot in the energy items section, and it will just put one of them in there. If I left click, it will put all of them there, and I don't want to do that. I just want to put one in there for now. And I do that on both of them, and obviously the status goes to on. It's producing a small O2 bottle. It's got 44 minutes of runtime on a single charge, and it's going to produce another oxygen bottle in about 70 seconds or so. So it's about 2 minutes, I think, it takes to run an oxygen bottle. But yes, in the bottom left, you'll notice my O2 is perilously low now, but I still have 5 purified waters thanks to that other locker that I just opened. Let me spin them up as well, because I think that's going to get us through until we actually have, you know, water stations and proper oxygen production. In my portable constructor here, and I apologise if I'm going a bit quick, the impending doom of my stats is kind of spurring me on rather quickly here. In the portable constructor, you can add all of these ores and stuff like that into here in order to take them out of your inventory, so save on volume and weight and stuff. And obviously you need to put them in here and then in order to unlock all the extra bits of construction and stuff that you want to do. I'm actually going to take them out briefly. I know I've just added them in, but I'm actually going to take them out because I want to build another survival constructor. Sorry, another portable constructor. So you can actually do that from your inventory constructor here. So portable constructor, unfortunately it's locked at the moment. Pop that down there. So I need to unlock it. So Empyrion's got tech tree. That's a mess and clearly a work in progress, but you know, bear with it. You've got all the tabs up here of all the different things you can unlock once you level up and get enough unlock points. We can see that we've got 25 unlock points. I'm going to head over to MISC, and my portable constructor is here, and I can unlock that. While I'm here, I'm going to go into weapons as well and unlock the shotgun and assault rifle, and that will be it. I might unlock multi-tool as well for now, but I'm not going to need that for a bit yet. Okay, so my oxygen is now perilously low. I'm going to equip the oxygen bottles onto my toolbar like I did everything else, and then just click to use them. And you can see my oxygen refills quite nicely all the way up. There we go, max oxygen. So that should keep us going again for a little while. And then I'm going to build a portable constructor in here, which is going to swallow up some of these ores. So this one, I'll actually dedicate this one to food. Let me put all the food stuffs in here. I'll keep this stuff on me. This is just useful to have. You do have sort options in your inventory now, but I'd like to sort in my own little way, so I'm not going to use them very much, I don't think. Once you put all your food, organic-y stuff into a portable constructor, you've got the food and medical sections up here. Clearly we don't have all that much, actually. It turns out we're quite limited in supply, so we might have to go foraging again, especially considering my food level. Now, things do get desperate. Obviously, I've got my emergency ration, and I have my canned meat as well, but I'd like to avoid using them for as long as possible, if possible. But now I'm going to create some antibiotic ointments. These are quite useful to have. Well, we can create one of those. They're good for healing dermal burn, frostbite, and necrosis. Really? I thought they did a little bit more than that. Maybe I'm wrong. Poisonous bite is the one I want. That's the blue one. Alien tooth plant protein. Alright, that's a little bit more difficult to come across. Okay, you guys... Okay, there we go, look. So the great thing about these things is that they output both small O2 bottles, which give you more oxygen. These only give you 35. These ones give you 75. And water. And obviously you can use the water to produce more emergency O2. So with these two running for the next 40 minutes or so, we will have plenty of oxygen. There'll be no problem whatsoever. There's our second portable constructor. And we've got 5 more bottles of emergency O2. There we go. So we're now kind of out of trouble, really, when it comes to oxygen. So yeah, we can now go about trying to mine some more goods in order to unlock our first vehicle. Now there was actually a little hover vessel over here that spawned in. You can see it on your map. There's a little icon for it. If you're not sure where it is, have a look for that. So this, quite nicely... Oh, hello. Has some plastic. Very good. This is quite easy to repair. It will need a fuel tank and a generator, and that is it. In fact, you know, F for fuel and G for generator. So we craft those 2 items, and this can be ours. This can be ours. In order to craft those items, we need to go back to our tech tree once more, hover vessel, and we've got generators and stuff in here that we can unlock. In fact, actually, small generator and fuel tank are already unlocked, so never mind. You know, we only need all this other stuff once we get some more advanced materials and things like that. So there you go, level 4. Level 4 just by picking plants and exploring a bit. So I'm just going to pick up some more food around. You'll notice the sun is rapidly going down now. There's a bit of copper. Shouldn't need to really bother with these surface rocks much longer because we have actually found proper deposits that we can mine in a little bit. So let me just grab a bit more food before we retire. So there's a bit more, once you've got some food, like there's a few more options available in your survival constructor for food than there is, sorry, portable constructor. I get these two confused all the time. This is a portable constructor and the thing in your suit is called the survival constructor. I will get there eventually. So in the food portable constructor, once you've got some vegetables and stuff, you have a few more options available to you. Some of the better ones, steak, although again that food is now only 50, but we're going to make a couple of those. It makes them from vegetable plants, so it's kind of like a Beyond Burger. But that noise that I was making there, that noise that you just heard, is me complaining that I'm hungry, so I'm just going to chow down on my last 2 energy bars. I'm going to have some vegetable drink, which is going to restore my health. I can restore my health now. I don't need to, there's still nothing attacking me. But by doing it through vegetable juice means I can keep that. I'm going to put that on my toolbar just as a handy kind of if I need it type thing. But yeah, food. Food is a problem. Food is a definite issue. Let's get this thing busy making some ingots. And that's probably all it's going to be able to make. You can turn this ore into ingots and stuff, and that will help later on. You need the ingots, in fact, to put into your factory, and I'll come on to the factory shortly. For now, actually, what I do need... Oh, there's some more meteorites coming down over there. What I do need is just normal stone. It's remarkable how important, actually, just normal, regular stone is. Everybody's sort of like, yeah, you need copper, iron, and yeah, you do. But actually, you also need some normal stone. So you can get that. Any of these rocks will do. Resource drill. Might take a little while, depending on the size of the rock. Obviously, it has more hit points, which you can see down in the bottom left. And you can see them sort of declining as I hit it as well, which is nice. So normal rock is combined with plant fiber, I think, to make plastic. And plastic is basically what you need early on for a lot of the early ships and stuff that you're going to be building. Well, if they're not made out of plastic, you're just going to be taking longer to get them because you need like iron and stuff. Right, sun is down in 16 seconds or so. Let's put you in there. You need like regular stone dust for some recipes. Still need that alien tooth, but I can make more bandages. That's always good. Make me some bandages. Eat that steak. Look at that. Ooh. Stop arguing. Right. So you can split stacks, by the way, by just right-clicking on them, and it splits them in half. I put a couple of stone in the food one because there are some recipes, I think, in the medical thing that do require stone dust, but I can't remember which ones they are at the moment. Just have a bit of stone dust in there every now and again, it works out. So plant fibers, again, that's another thing you need to kind of mix between the two. So plant fibers are required in both, so you need plant fibers and stone in order to make plastic, carbon substrate, sorry. And that is, like I said, that can be turned into the plastic blocks, carbon substrate blocks, which are the cheapest to make stuff out of. Most of the stuff you'll build early game will be probably either wood, carbon substrate, or concrete. Just gonna eat some steaks. That does restore a bit of my health as well, so my stats are not looking too bad now. So we've got a bit of ore and stuff. I'm going to leave that kind of stuff in there. I do need to go out and get some more plant fiber, and there is a way of doing that with this thing, chainsaw. Used to be the shotgun was the all-time favorite, but it's not anymore. They nerfed it. They nerf everything. Right, so there's a couple more bandages. I'm going to transfer the remaining plant fiber that we have back over to this constructor so I can make some nitrocellulose, which is going to allow me to make shotgun shells. Output count is 30, so if I maybe get 10 of those, that should be enough shotgun shells to last a while. So once you've lined up a bunch of stuff in your constructor like that, what you can do is, once the sun has gone down like it has now, is you can go to sleep by just clicking F on your tent. And you'll wake up in the morning, your stats would have reduced slightly, hunger and stuff like that. But all the stuff you queued up in your constructor will now be finished. Quite good, isn't it? So if you do have a long line of stuff that you're waiting for, just, you know, if it's nighttime, you can just go to bed, just go to sleep. I now am armed. I have one charge for my chainsaw, which we can quickly change once we chop down some trees. So chop down trees gives you wood logs, obviously, and then you can turn that into much more plant fiber than you know, going around and picking the stuff off the ground. And you're going to need that plant fiber for ammunition, for plastic, for biofuel. It's quite a lot of early game stuff that you need it for. So yeah, another round of just running about and picking up what you can. Now my inventory is full. Now, here we go. Okay, so yeah, I've reached the maximum volume. Wow, okay. That must be those logs and stuff. Fine. We'll just pop back on our crappy little bike. Do you know what? I'm going to get rid of this thing. The only thing with the bike is it's horrible. In every way, it is dreadful. But at least it doesn't use any fuel. So that's a thing. Put the logs into one of these constructors and you can turn them into plant fibers. Nice. Put the food, any food you pick up in the foodie one, and get that turning into energy bars. Probably the most. I think they have the longest perish time. Stakers only had perish time of 13. There's obviously energy bars, perish time of 90. So they give you less food ultimately, but they last longer. Right. Before we go back out there and do more stuff, let's see if we can construct. A fuel tank is missing electronics. We don't have enough copper. We do have a fuel tank is fine. The generator doesn't have electronics. We need more copper. Okay. Well, hopefully the logs that we've got there will last a little while for us. So let's go to the copper deposit, which is just over the way. Get ourselves some copper, and then we can get that hover bike working. And we don't have to use this monstrosity any longer. Bye. There's a couple of ways you can mine. The most simple and basic way is to simply just set to resource drill on your tool here, point to the ground, and dig. But what you can end up doing by doing that, and I do it quite often just for giggles, is you dig yourself into a hole. Well, the alternative is you can use your drone. I haven't shown you the drone before, but F5 will release your drone. And it's a bit unwieldy. It sort of flies around quite chaotically. But you can use the multi-tool and the survival tool from your drone, as long as you've got it selected on your taskbar down below. Your drone is basically just an extension of your arms. But it means, obviously, you don't get yourself stuck in a hole. For copper, you're looking for this green stuff once you dig down enough, and you just keep holding the fire button until you pick up enough copper that you want. I'm probably going to dig this entire deposit out if I can, because I'm going to need all of the copper in order to spawn in the vehicle that I want from the factory later. One of the only problems with the drone is that while you are mining away, you can't obviously see your player, so you're not sure if anything's coming up behind you, or whether anything's coming towards you that might kill you. So one of the tricks you can do is double tap tab, and by double tapping tab, it kind of tricks the game into giving you the mini map back in the top right corner, so you can keep an eye on any red dots coming towards you. Once you've finished mining, as I have now because my inventory is once again full, just hit F5 again and bingo, you're back on the surface where you started. You can then mount this pure evil and ride back to your base. Now we should have enough copper. We mined 153 there, so yeah, I would say we have enough copper to bring in a small generator and a small fuel tank. We now have enough plant fibers as well. We can probably split that a few times and take that into the food one. And we've got 5 energy bars from earlier. We can create some more. Let's keep that production going. Yeah, that's fine. So these two will now work on the fuel tank and generator, and we can get that hover bike working, which has a nice little storage box on it as well for us to put some bits and bobs in. And 150 copper, if we can turn that into the ingots, we can then load that into the factory when we're ready to. These guys have been very busy producing on energy, and obviously because we slept, that 40 minutes or so has very quickly gone. So we'll put the other 2 fuel packs that we had in there now, and that will produce even more. But we've got plenty of oxygen to last a while now with these And we've got 20 water actually. So we can produce another 20 of these ones as well. Fantastic. So that should keep us oxygen tanks topped up quite nicely for a while yet. We're down to 67 at the moment, which is no problem. There's our fuel tank and generator. Now the only other problem that we have is fuel itself. So we don't have any actually. I will need to create, I might as well get the food one producing biofuel. I don't know, it's a tricky decision. I would like another mobile constructor in fairness, and then I could set that one off on just producing biofuel. But in the absence of that, I will set this one on producing biofuel. So this again uses these magical plant fibers, and you can see how many we got from just a few logs, so it's not the end of the world. Once that's finished producing what copper ore it can out of the stuff that we mined, sorry, ingots, out of the stuff that we mined, it will get to work on biofuel. So we can get back to mining more resources. So we have no fuel at the moment, so let's go and install that generator and fuel tank actually. Let's go through that, because otherwise that's just going to weigh us down in the old backpack. And we might not be able to fuel it yet, but at least get these things installed. So first thing, generator, shift click to add it to the toolbar, select it on the toolbar, point to where you want to place it, and then just click to place it. Very basic, very easy, very simple. And then the fuel tank's the same thing. Okay, now once you've got a vehicle like this, just point at it, press P, Papa, on your keyboard, and it will bring up the control panel. At the moment it is called damaged hoverbike, and it's currently set to public. You could set it to private. If you're in single player, it doesn't really matter, you may as well leave it to public, but I'm going to set it to private because it's generally good practice. If you're claiming, taking over, building a vehicle or whatever, set it to private, and then it's yours and stuff like that. The only benefit to having it on public is that it doesn't then get attacked by drones and stuff, but it might get attacked by your own base. Yeah, it can cause a little bit of complications later on, so just set that to private for now. And obviously we just need to wait until we have a bit of fuel, power it up, and then we can get rid of that horrible monstrosity of a motorbike. This bloody thing. Yeah. Elion, please replace. I think that is the general idea. I think they pretty much said they are going to get rid of it, but I just don't know when. Anyway, a bit more food for the food constructor. Yeah, more energy bars, please. Good sir. Muchos gracias. Our oxygen is looking perilously low, so we're going to top that up now. A quick way of doing it is on the taskbar. If you do it directly from your inventory, it doesn't do it quite as quickly. So there's our emergency O2. I'm not going to go through our small O2 until much later. We've got another 20 of them there. Full oxygen back up and running. There we go. And we've got 7 protein bars and even more. And we've got some biofuel coming in now. Let's pick up. Can I have 2, please? Pretty please? With the cherry on top? You seem to be finished. Quite some time now. Oh no, my mistake. Yeah, it's a known bug. It's a known bug with that. Like the whole thing completes and then actually you come out and back in again and know it was only halfway down. Great, thanks then. That seems to be... There we go, there's 2. Okay, that should be enough to get our little hoverbike working. Buongiorno. Jump into the old pilot seat there. P again. On fuel, click manage. And then drag and drop your 2 biofuel straight into the old fill fuel box there. Right, and then press Y to power up. And then you can press Alt to unlock the camera. Oh, sorry, press V to give yourself, third person. And then press Alt to scroll out, scroll in, page up, page down. And set the camera to whatever you prefer. And there we go, we got ourselves a nice little hoverbike, which is much nicer, much quieter, and just generally all round much better than the piece of crap bike that we had before. So piece of crap bike that we had before, you can go in there for now and not take up my precious inventory space, thank you very much. Along with these bits and bobs as well that I don't need. That's an extra detector, and there's also a flashlight. Flashlight's great if you don't already have a suit, but we do, so we don't need it. And for some reason, I've got alien thorn in there, and that belongs in there. 4 more of those, thank you very much. More biofuel, yes please, I'll take that. 200 plus copper ingots, very nice. Okay, we're going to leave that running for now. Let's go and get a couple more resources. So we've got an iron deposit over yonder. Whee! This thing is so quick, look at it go. Wow, it really it's a bit twitchy. I'll admit it's a bit twitchy, but you know it's good. Oh yeah, always remember, I keep forgetting to do that, turn it off because it's burning fuel, always on, and we don't have a lot of that yet. So let's grab, I'll grab these vegetables in a second. I've got a weird compulsion about doing that. Let's grab this iron, get my drone out, resource drill, tab, and dig. And iron looks a bit like this once you reach it. So what I find, this is new to this version actually, is occasionally that iron deposit little marker that you can see disappears. So if you're digging, like there you go, it's disappeared. If you're digging like I was, because we're digging for quite a little while here, this is quite a deep deposit. And I'm like, oh, am I going in the right direction? What you can do is just select your detector again and re-ping it, and it will come up, and that'll give you the direction to dig in. So you know you're digging in the right direction, and you haven't just drilled past it. You shouldn't drill past it. These deposits are reasonably, have got a reasonably good footprint once you're in them. But yeah, that seems to be new. The iron deposit and the markers used to always be there when you were near them, so it must be new. Anyway, let's dig some iron out, and then we'll head back. Okay, that's our inventory full. Yep, in fact, a little bit of rock we can't pick up right in front of us. What we can do in that event, rather than wasting that rock, is on this little hover bike, we've got a little bit of cargo space here. Shift click to put as much in there as possible, and that should allow you to pick up a little bit more and not waste that bit, because I mean, I've put rich deposits on, but you might not have rich deposits, in which case resources are a little bit more valuable and stuff like that. A little bit more precious. A little bit more precious. Right, pick up a few plants. Let's head back and put this iron into the constructors, just like we did before. We are running a little bit low on food again. Ooh, hang about. Hang about. Targets of opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, as you're driving past. You know, if food is a thing, pick up food. These space oranges. Space oranges are delicious. Don't let the space oranges go to waste. There's so much like food in the starting area, it's crazy. You shouldn't run out of food, basically, in the starting area. And you can tell you're in the starting area, just look at the top right corner with the mini-map there. Level 5, there you go, picking up plants, told you. In the top right corner, it gives you the weather. Your biome location, crash site is the current one. Crash site is the starting area basically, and then obviously the time to sunset. The red markers that you see on the minimap is your detector's passive ability. So the detector will highlight areas where there might be points of interest, basically, with those red things in a sort of general direction. It's like saying, if you go in this direction, if I go south, I might discover one more point of interest because there's one little red notch underneath the larger red direction indicator. So that's what that means up there. So now I've got 12 biofuel, which is pretty nice. We do need to then go out and get some more logs to convert them into more biofuel. We can get some more energy bars. That's another thing as well, sorry. There's so much stuff I take for granted because I play this. Hold shift and click and it'll puts 10 on at once. Hold control and click and it'll put 100 on. And I think if you hold them both it puts 1,000 on. 50 iron ingots. Get going on that. Build that. So the only other thing we need to do is get some silicon. Basically rinse and repeat with silicon, which is over in that direction. And then we have the basic resources other than plastic. Yeah, we need more plant fiber for that. So let's go get the silicon. And then we'll chop down some more trees and go get that as well. Oh, before this thing is so twitchy. Hilarious. Let me grab that iron that we put in there. Don't forget about that. Pop that in there. Lovely. Silicon. That away. Right here. Oh, rock. Yeah, it's a bit mental. This thing, crazy. Make sure you power it off. Preserve the fuel. F5. Double tap tab. Our thing has disappeared. We can just ping it again to re-get it. There it is. Resource drill, and off we go. And this is what silicon looks like. This kind of sort of dark greyish, metallic looking type thing. Just in case you're wondering. But yeah, we're going to pick up enough of this and fill our inventory and head back. Okay, we've got all the silicon we can carry. The sun's about to set again. Day 2. Let's pop our silicon in there. Put a bit more in the box as well. Make sure you get that. Pop that over. 300 ingots of iron. Now let's get this thing working on 100 ingots of silicon as well. There's 232 in there. That should work through that quite nicely. So what we need to do is we need to get some more plant fibers. So that's kind of just a case of running around chopping down trees again. There's not really at the moment any kind of serious concentration of trees, so they're a bit sporadic, whereas on the temperate world, you know, you've got entire forests and stuff. There's no problem. The arid one, this one, is a little bit more sparse, so we just have to go around. Fortunately, we have a little box with us as well, so we should be able to carry a little bit more tree logs before we need to head back. Like last time we only picked up I think 3 and then had to head back. At least we can do a little bit more this time. Anyway, we're gonna do, yeah, already. What is that? 7 logs and I'm full. So we can put a bit more in there. Oh, that's full. That can take 2. Wow. That can only take 7 and that can take 2. Logs are heavy. Who would have thought? They've definitely upped that. I'm pretty sure you could have carried more, a lot more than that last time, but there we go. We're gonna have to do lots of backwards and forwards then in that case, in order to bring these logs over. But we need them because we need the plant fiber that they can produce combined with the crushed stone in order to produce plastic. So I'm gonna line up 200 plastic once it's finished with the silicon stuff. Let's go out and get some more trees, a couple more trees that I can carry. And then we're going to go to sleep, I think, and wait for that to finish. So there's a couple more trees over here. Grab. Can I get out, please? Thank you. A little annoying thing with the game where it won't let you out of the cockpit until the vehicle has stopped moving. Well, I mean, it might only be moving ever so slightly, and it won't let you out. Very slightly annoying. We're within 300 meters of that resource there. So if I ping my thing, oh, it's another ping my thing. It's another iron deposit. Cool. There's 90% iron left in that deposit over there that we were mining earlier, and I thought I got a lot more than that. Never mind. That's 5 logs. I can get 2 more before it tells me off. There's an orange tree right here. Hate to do this to orange trees because they provide delicious fruit. But you know, whatever. Deal with it, orange tree. Okay, there we go. I'm full. I can't take any more. The box is already full as well. One of the things that we can do to upgrade our little hover bike here is add some more cargo boxes to it, actually. You know, it doesn't take a lot of resources to add cargo boxes to something like this. Obviously it's nice and quick and stuff at the moment, but the more weight you put on it, the slower it will get. Inevitably. I'm afraid. So let's put some more of these on. You're working away at ingots and stuff. Very nice. You guys have still got 23 minutes of juice left on you. I am going to turn in for the night and everything will be done in the morning. Well, it's another lovely morning on this oxygenless wasteland, which has got life on it somehow. Anyway, 480 silicon ingots and 1600 plastic ingots. 2 more of those, and we're starting to lose. We're starting to lose a bit of food now because things are spoiling. Let's grab those fruit things before they go and turn them into some drink. So perish time on this fruit here is 2, which I think is minutes, and the fruit juice will increase its perish time to 80 minutes, even though it doesn't go over, if you know what I mean. So that's pretty good. 2 fruit juices, and I think they're pretty good at healing you. Yeah, they do. They do pretty good job at that. So we've got lots of resources now. We're in a few hundred of each, including plastic, which is very good. So let me introduce you to the factory. Okay, so hit F2. Now you see some of the builds on the workshop and stuff like that. They're going to appear here in this long list of stuff. I mean, yours won't look like that if you're first starting the game, but over time when you build stuff and subscribe to stuff, you're going to get a fairly unwieldy list like that. But you know, if you do subscribe to something on the workshop that you want to bring into game, this is where you find it. You can just search for it up there. If it's a tiny list, obviously you just select it from the list. The ship that I want is my Bolt, which is a SV, a small vehicle, a small vessel. So normally when I do these LPs, I'd opt for something like the Spark, which is a tiny, nice little hover vessel. It's level 5. I could get it now, but it costs about the same as the Bolt here, which flies. The difference between the Bolt and the Spark is this thing goes up in the air and the Spark doesn't. So I'm going to opt for Bolt here. I think I'm just going to skip over the whole hover vessel bit because, well, I have one here. I have one that the game has very graciously given to me. So yeah, just select what you want and then press add to factory. So to factory down here, and then the screen will change to this sort of setup. And what this is obviously your inventory and the resources required. Bit of information about the build that you're trying to bring in. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a bit of everything, a bit of all of this, as much as my inventory can take. Hit F2. And then I can just drag what I need into there. Now we only need 90 iron ingots, so I just put 90. You can put more in there, it's fine. It will just use it for the next thing. We need 170 copper, so I'm going to have to come back for that. And silicon is down at 130. So just again, I'm just using a combination of right-click to split and then right-click to just add a single ingot to another stack. Then I can get it to 130. So we need a bit more copper and some carbon substrate. I'm going to return these guys there, get the copper, get the carbon substrate, press F2 again. The copper is about 20 ingots we need, so there we go, 19, close enough. And the carbon substrate is 240. So, and we can do it actually directly and just right click with a stack selected and add just one at a time, and there's your 240. So we can't actually start production on that because this particular build requires level 7, and that is highlighted in red over here on the right hand side. So actually we need to level up a little bit before we can do that. If I go back to my player stats here, I'm just level 5. So I have 2 more levels to get before I can get the Bolt. But the good news is I have the resources to get it. Okay, so as soon as I hit level 7, I'll be bringing that in the very short term right now. I need some oxygen. And you can see that these small bottles, they fill up much more oxygen than the rest of them do. So there we go. The fastest way to gain levels in early game, other than picking up plants, is to go after things like this drone that seems to be heading towards us at the moment. I just hit M here. M opens the map, but you can see all this stuff up there. Just explore it at your leisure. Also, I noticed from the map there's a little red corner up here, which indicates to me Zirax Empire territory. Zirax are generally always just upset with you and unfriendly. So, you know, we can always go in that direction and see what we can find. The minigun drone, however, is very much a tempting target, but is also very dangerous. I don't really have much in the way of weaponry, so I'm going to need to build some extra weaponry. I have a shotgun, and the shotgun is good if you're point blank. Now the problem with Zirax drones is they fly. They're up in the sky. They're not very far up in the sky, but they're up in the sky enough to be a pain in the butt. Let's add another 2 biofuels to our oxygen here, just while we get those things running again. There's a pistol, so let's equip that, and we got some rounds coming in as well. And then we're going to see if we can go kill that, because I think that might give us a good way to our next level, and it'll be an interesting, well, be able to show you guys a little introduction into drones and combat and stuff, which is, you know, it's a bit clanky. Let's just say it's a bit clanky. Oh, now this is an interesting development. My Geiger counter is going off because there's radiated fog has rolled in. Oh dear, that is not good at all, ladies and gentlemen. We don't have what we need: mushrooms and herbal leaves. Well, the herbal leaves we can find they are the little aloe vera plants. There's one. The mushrooms, however, are a little bit more difficult to pin down because they will only grow in a certain area of the map. I don't think this is going to give me radiation poisoning, but it's an interesting development nonetheless. Let's get that over there. All of our food is spoiling now, unfortunately, because the timers have just expired. But we do have 17 energy bars, which should keep us going for a little while, plus also our backup rations and stuff down there. Right, bullets, yes, check. Hover bike, let's go. Let's go. What direction was he? He was opposite to that. He was that way. South. South-ish, around that mountain area. This is going to be interesting. We're going up against a drone with a pistol. This should be fun. But this thing moves pretty quickly, so you can actually traverse fair old distance. Fairly nice. Okay, he's the other side of this ridge here. Now with these drones, okay, they're a bit stupid, but they're very stupid, and they have a flaw in their design in that they cannot shoot up or down, which is hilarious. These are things that are very good at sort of killing you at a distance, but if you charge at them head on, a bit like that, get right underneath them, and then stay underneath them. Staying underneath them is a bit trickier. You do have to use all of your sort of sprint and jump and stuff, and if you can shoot them on their little nose, you can do a lot more damage. This guy's about to shoot me back, but I got him, and that gives me a ton of XP and some juicy bits and bobs inside. Lovely. So that's how you kill a drone, but goddamn, this radiation is really kicking off. I'm not sure where I'm going to find mushrooms. This is a problem. This is definitely a more serious issue than I first expected it to be. We are near water, and that might be where mushrooms live. This is bad. This is really bad. I must admit, I'm not actually sure whether I'm going to survive this. The problem is that this radiated fog, although it is not going to hurt my health initially, if my radiation gets above 1, on the right hand side there, you can see just under the minimap, you can see the temperature is 60 degrees C because of the fog, and radiation is currently at 6.1 rads and climbing. Now my radiation, the radiation inside my suit, is now 0.1. This will continue to climb for as long as this radiated fog, you know, is here. And if I don't find some way of getting rid of the radiation poison reasonably soon by finding mushrooms, then I could be in trouble. I could be in serious trouble, because I have no way at the moment of getting rid of radiation poisoning. Actually, no, there may be a way. There may be a way of doing it. Maybe I was just hoping to find mushrooms around here, around this here. Oh, Polaris territory over there. More Xerax territory down there. Interesting. Okay. Out. Tree. Another way of getting XP is to discover stuff. So our base is actually over here. So let's head towards this Polaris territory and see what we get. Oh, actually, perfect. We want XP. We also need alien tooth, I believe. And these guys, well, I was fully expecting him to actually die within 2 shots, but he kind of held on a little bit longer than expected there. These guys have actually given me a dermal parasite. Oh, come on. We've actually got a longer range than I expected as well. Another quick way of looting is Shift F. Dermal Parasite. Oh dear. That's the blue one, isn't it? I have got the alien tooth, which will allow me to craft the one I need. Okay. Things are getting getting worse and worse. Survival is now becoming very unlikely. Okay. Let's get back to base. I don't think... What has that done for my my level? Nearly level 6 now. So just killing those few things has put my level right up. I need to head back to base, which is east. Okay, so there's a couple of ways to actually deal with radiation. One is to obviously get the medication, but we need mushrooms and we can't find mushrooms. Who knows where they are, what biome they're going to be in, I'm not sure. One of the other ways is with a shower. So you just wash the radiation off, right? We don't have a base yet. I should put a waypoint down so that I can easily find the base again and not have to keep looking at the map. So we don't have a base as such. We do. We have this little campsite here, which is fine. Let's turn you off. Let me out. Great. I now have alien tooth, which is going to allow me to create a medicine plant protein. Damn you. I need those little hot dog things. Where are they? Come on, give me a little hot dog thing. This has all become rather desperate all of a sudden, hasn't it? Hot dog things, here we go. Loads of them. All these hot dog things around the crash site. Dermal Parasite is going to go into a full alien parasite in 15 minutes, so we do have a bit of time. But our rads are up to 0.3, steadily still increasing. We now need one of these. This is going to get rid of our dermal parasite. And then we'll need a bandage as well to heal that off. But yeah, no sign of getting mushrooms. Now what I can do is create a core with my portable constructor, because we all have the basic resources now. I can create a core, and I can also create... No, I can't! Oh, you swine! Ah, you bastard. Okay. Well, that screws that plan, doesn't it? So why is it there? Decoration blocks. Nothing. Great. Okay. It's not a case I need to unlock them, is it? I don't think so. Deco blocks. They're just like default, aren't they? So, what I was hoping to do was build a shower. As I said, build a shower, and then I could install that into the base, and that would zero my radiation once again. But nay, it's not to be. There is one other option, which will require kind of retrofitting our little hover bike here a little bit, and that is to create an enclosed cockpit, and that can help as well. So we use our anti-toxic ointment. That now gives us an open wound, because, you know, we had to carve the parasite out, but fortunately, because we built bandages earlier, we can heal that as well. So we're okay. We're okay. You little... Yeah. It's still, after all this time, it's still surprising me, this game. It's still catching me out. But no worries. Oh, I tell you what, I was like, let's take apart this and put an enclosed cockpit on it, but I don't have a multi-tool yet. So there goes that idea as well. We have a multi-tool. We have no way to create multi-tool charges. Promethean pellets are required for that. Okay, well, never mind. There goes that idea, right? Fine. Can we have any more bandages? We can have a few more bandages. Our rads are up to a 0.4 now, still increasing, but I think the fog may be lifting, actually. I believe the fog is lifting, the radiation is going down, and the weather has changed from radiated fog to partly cloudy. The radiation is dropping fast, so we should be okay. We'll be fine with 0.4 radiation. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. So we're back to just having to level up to level 7 in order to bring our little fighter in. and that's it. But we have our little camp, we have our little hover bike, we have enough supplies to survive. We're not going to die of radiation poisoning. So for the moment, it is a case that I'll just have to keep building up the food supplies as best as possible. And then I think what we're going to do is we're going to head over in this general direction over here, and we're going to see what Xerax are up to over there for the next episode. But I'm going to have to leave you. I'm going to have to leave you there. We have survived so far, and by the skin of our teeth, but we're okay. But there we go. Any questions, anything you want to clarify you're not sure about, let me know in the comments. I'll be more than happy to help, and also, you know, the other guys watching it, the veterans of Empyrion, will be more than happy to help in the comments section as well if you're new to the game and struggling with anything. But I'll be back very soon for another episode to continue this. Welcome to our new experimental Let's Play on Empyrion Galactic Survival. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, hope you found it useful, hope you found it entertaining, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.